This is Andrew at Drake Custom Bass, and Rosie and I have a new project to work on. This is a Spector 2004 bass, made in Korea. I believe this one here was made in the early 2000s. I recently purchased this bass off Reverb because it's exactly like, well, I had a couple of these basses, but this one looks very, very familiar to me, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure it actually is my old one. But anyway, I saw this on Reverb, and it's been beat up, and there was been some customization going on here. So we purchased this bass because we thought it'd be fun to restore a bass together, and we have some plans for this one. I had, like I said earlier, I had two of these basses back in the early 2000s when I was playing with a band. This was my bass of choice. I had a couple. I really liked the basses. The only drawback that I remember was that the edge of the fretboard, it rounds up to a pretty sharp break here. It doesn't roll in at all, and I kind of like rolled edges on my bass necks. The thickness is all right. I'm pretty good with that. Rolling these edges in just makes it a little bit more comfortable for me the way I play. I have smaller hands, and so we will be shaving these edges in. We're going to be pulling all these frets out because, where was it? There it is. There's a couple really badly damaged frets. A few marks in the fingerboard. And we were going over ideas. Oh, check this out. Somebody had a sticker, a set of stickers with the inlays similar to what Spector, the higher dollar model of Spectors, the ones made in Czechoslovakia or the US, have. That's funny because I didn't notice that before. We're planning on actually maybe doing some kind of block inlays on this bass, you know, basically routing over these dots and putting something cool in there. Maybe not the actual Spector shape, but yeah, we'll come up with something. We have all kinds of materials to work with. The blue color is not bad. I can see, maybe you can too, see if there is some quilting going on underneath this finish. And flip it over here. Yeah, it seems to be on both sides. So we're thinking of stripping this blue gloss finish off. There's damage in spots here and there anyway. And then stripping it back to the maple. I mean, this is maple, that's maple. It'll be similar to this color. Someone has beat us to, you know, sanding this down. And they might have taken some thickness off the neck because the neck does feel a little bit thinner than what I remember from my 2004s. Upside down, but you can see there. And then, I don't know, tell us in the comments what year this is for those who know the code they use for their serial numbers, if there is one really. We're going to strip this down all the way down to bare wood, and I think, I don't know, we've talked about it. My wife does fine detailed wood burning, all kinds of designs and stuff, and we thought about maybe putting some kind of designs into the maple. But then now that I see the curl in the figured maple here, this might be a good candidate for iron nitrate, which is, it's a chemical that we brush on, it soaks in, and I mean, it looks green and nasty until you hit it with a heat gun, which turns it a nice rich brown color. And what it does is all these little curls just start looking three-dimensional. It really brings out the figuring in the wood. And it gives the whole instrument a kind of a honey roasted color. That might be really cool. So maybe that's what we're going to do. Interesting thing is this bass came with a gold bridge. Well played and very used. In fact, some of the gold is starting to rub off. But the basses I had, and from anything I've ever seen or read, these basses only had black hardware. And I don't know, maybe this was an aftermarket add-on. Maybe for a short time there they made this as an option. I'm not sure. This is not, doesn't appear to be one of the bridges off the Czechoslovakian or American made basses. So I don't know, some more research will probably be needed. This was the only part really that came with the bass. The bass was stripped. There was no pickups, no preamp or anything. There might have been a nasty pot still in the and there was a jack. There was a nasty jack in there that we threw that out because it looked like it had been used for gardening. It did have the brass nut. I do have another one that I've made that's a little bit narrower and it has more of a jazz bass spacing. So when I reshape this neck, I might be making it more jazz-like, kind of like the Doug Wim-ish version or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I guess it has Spector. So it has just a few things that were with it, but the tuning keys were gone. There was a big busted out piece here, and I've already glue boosted a little bit, and that was just because this finish veneer was starting to peel, and I wanted to stabilize it so that it doesn't get caught on anything and make more damage for us to repair. When we strip everything down to the bare wood, we will leave the peg head intact. So when this is all done, I'll put a nice glossy polish on the face of the peg head because it is a Spector bass, and so I'll just keep that intact. Anyway, this is what we got planned, and stay tuned and see how this bass comes back together.